gonna laugh. I might cry and I'm gonna wanna tell you why, because hey, well that's just life. So do do do, do 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 do, do 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 you, and I will do me. Ew. Okay, for real.
Hi world, it's Jengwin. Welcome back to Ill for Real. Oh my god. Well, oh my windows are closed. I'm traumatized. I came to sit. I'm not sure if you can hear in this microphone, but it is raining right now, and I am about to head home to Indiana. But I was like a little worried to drive home in the rain because of the trauma that I experienced from getting here to Pennsylvania. If you listened a couple episodes back, I was almost in a really, really, really terrible accident on the expressway, and it was because I like slipped. It was either I hit black ice because it had just started to snow, like out of nowhere. It was fresh snow. I either hit black ice or it was just wet and I hydroplaned, but it was really, really, really scary experience. And so it started raining right now when I was about to start getting on the road, and I'm like, oh no, like I'm like scared to go fast in this car because that near death experience got my wheels out of alignment, and I don't know, I thought it was my wheel bearings that was making noise in the car, but I went and took it to a shop and they said that the alignment's just pretty bad. So I don't know how dangerous it is to drive with wheels that are unaligned, and I didn't have the money to pay for it right now, so I'm gonna wait till I get back home to fix it. But anyways, I was nervous to get on the road because it just started raining, so I decided to pull over to that little spot that I like to sit at and look at the mountains while it's raining. It looks very eerie and gorgeous, but anyways, I'm sitting right next to that puddle that I got splashed with. Somebody drove past me right now, and they drove through a really big puddle and like splashed the side of my car, but my windows are closed obviously because it's raining. So the Jeep is fine, and I'm not soaking wet, the car's not soaking wet, and everything's fine. Oh, the rain's getting stronger. Any hoodles, I am actually recording this episode a day after I recorded the last episode that I put up. So it hasn't been a week, if that makes sense. I posted an episode yesterday, which was Friday. Is today Saturday? I think. And it's now Saturday, and I'm just preemptively recording my next one because I just wanted to kind of get on here while I'm still riding a high. I'm coming down from the high of last week, just feeling really good and all the fun, heartwarming stuff that happened. But I don't know if I want to do I'm not going to do a worse than best because it hasn't even been a week. So you're going to hear rain, and I'm going to talk about some other things right now. And then, a little bit later this week, I'll go back and record my I can't talk. My best and worst of the week. Not like any of you care, but I'm an over-explainer, and what else is there to do right now but yap. So, oh man, I already think I know what the worst of my week is going to be now because it happened last night. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry for screaming in your ears. So what I wanted to talk about, if you listened to last week's episode, I initiated conversation with y'all on Instagram. So I asked in my stories how you feel about whether or not people change. Do you think that people truly change? And I think it's complicated because there's so many ways that you can go about this. And so I was very curious, just like firsthand, seeing what you guys thought, just hearing that question straight out. So there's quite a few different responses here. I'm just going to read through yours that you left, and then I'm sure that will start conversation with me, myself, and I, and all my personalities, and then we'll go off of there. Disclaimer, as always, the audio is going to be kind of strange because I started off using the enhancement feature for the audio. I don't have a very good microphone, and it was cutting out all the background sound at first of the rain, so it just sounded really weird and whooshy. So I decided not to enhance my voice audio and just let the rain play in the background. And when I listened back to it, it sounded pretty relaxing to me. I feel like I would listen to a podcast with rain in the background. It's very peaceful. Anyways, if you hate it, I'm very sorry. But what was I saying? I could have also made this a car cast and just like hit the road and started driving and talking like I did last time, but that was an absolute shit show. And then it turned into the most horrific episode I've ever made. And then I hated the audio because my car is so loud when I drive, so I just didn't want to do that. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled program. So I'm gonna read your responses and we'll go from there. And I'm sure this has still not been 24 hours that this story has been up, so there might be a few other people leaving responses, but we'll get back to those. First, Matt says, "No, I don't think people change, but your perception of them can change." Interesting. So obviously I'm looking at this through my perspective and the situation that I did go through that made me start thinking about this topic of whether or not people change. My initial feeling probably years ago of whether or not I feel like people change would have probably been, oh yeah, people change all the time. Like you grow up and you get older and your taste buds change, which is true. Like, what is it, after like 7 years or something, supposedly your taste buds change and your allergies change, you physically change. Having kids makes you change in ways, but in recent years and before this whole traumatizing life situation happened to me, I started thinking, no, I don't think people really change, because at least for me personally, I've always been the same. Like, not only have I always been the same annoying, obnoxious, super dramatic, expressive, goofy, outgoing person. Like I've always been that person, and there have been circumstances in my life that have changed and made me, react or act a certain way because of those circumstances. But I don't think I changed. I don't think it changed me, because when I think about it deep down inside, my heart is still just as tender, still just as big. I'm still the little girl that went through trauma and abuse as a child, and I had to heal from that and grow and learn and spread awareness and help people through that. And I'm still that person. Like I'm still very forgiving, as I've always been, and this situation I've recently been through, I should probably, I don't know. Maybe it should. I try to say I don't. Okay, so it's weird. I trust people way too much, but at the same time, I don't trust nobody. You guys have heard me on here say, don't trust anyone. Teach your kids not to trust anyone. Y'all, people be dangerous out here. But at the same time, like, I really am. When I care about you, you're in my life. I love you. I want you in my life. I trust you till the ends of the earth, and maybe what I've been through recently, very recently, even last night, which I'll get into in a little bit, those situations should like teach me in a way to change. I don't think it does or has or will or should necessarily, but I don't know. I go back and forth, and I'm very torn on whether I think people change. So, for example, my parents, their circumstances have changed, their living situations have changed, their relationships have changed, the way they communicate has changed, but I don't think they've changed as a whole. Like, I think, first of all, I'm going to go back, which I've literally only read one of these, but it's okay because a lot of these answers are like, no, 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 yes, yes, yes. I heard a long time ago, and I kind of firmly agree with this, that by the time you are 5 years old, and I think I've talked about this in a previous episode a long time ago, because I talked a lot about, child abuse and, I was molested as a little girl, as if you didn't know that. Ooh, sorry. That was a big piece of information you didn't know about me, but I've always been very open about that because I want to help people who have experienced the same type of thing. But they say by the time you are 5 years old, you have gained your personality. You are who you are at the core. Like, it is so, so, so important. I've heard this quite a few times, actually. I don't know if you agree or not, but let me know. In the episode comments. Do you guys even see that? Do you guys see episode comments anywhere, or like on Spotify or Apple or whatever? I don't know. I wish there was a comment section where we can all have a conversation. But they say it is so important to teach your children the big stuff like respect and discipline and morals and good versus bad and trust and love and kindness, gentleness, empathy, all of those things, to help them and teach them and train them to build their personality, like at the core, the foundation, how they handle being told no, how they handled being, bullied, or if they are a bully, growing from that and learning that it's not okay to bite kids at the playground. You know what I mean? Like, they say it's so important to teach them those things by the time they're 5, because after that, for the most part, I mean, obviously it's not every single situation, but after that, it's like, it's too late. You know how they say, like, girls mature before men do, and the male brain isn't fully developed until age blah, blah, blah. I don't remember what it even is, 25 or 28 or something. Like, those types of things will change, but at their core, the type of person they are in their heart, like, they are learning all of that from you. And I don't think it changes, because if I think back to who I was, and I do have memories from, like, being a little girl like that, I think I am still her. And a lot of people in my life that I have grown up with, lived with, loved, I also see that. Like, it always goes back to who you are at the core, and I don't think that changes. So, it's interesting reading, no, but your perception of them can change. So I'm curious if, I just wish I could share more with you. Is this going to be the episode where I just unleash and say it all? I'm just, do I do it? I don't want to. I really don't want to. I'm not ready for the world to hear from my mouth. There's lots of rumors and gossip, but I haven't said it. I haven't come out. I feel like, yeah, maybe at some point, this person that hurt me very, 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 very badly knows everything about me. At their core, I'm so worried that this is who they were. For them to do what they did to me, to hurt me, when they know everything that I've been through, my abuse, my trauma, my lost friendships and family members, and just all of the mental, torturous things that I've only opened up about with them. Like, things that I haven't ever shared, For them to know that about me and love me for so long and do what they did to me, I'm like, dude, was that really that was really them this whole time? Because I don't see how you can change and all of a sudden be a completely different person that I don't know. I don't know who you are or what you are when I look into your eyes or when I hear you speak or when you touch me. Like, that is so sad. But to think that their perception of me changed is interesting. I haven't thought of it that way until this person left that comment. And that's very, I think obviously it's the case. I think it's very possible, which also makes me sad that you could know me and everything about me. And we've been through all of the shit that we've ever been through. And your perception changed of me that badly and that quickly for you to have destroyed me, you know? So that's interesting. Ew, I haven't said ew, I'm about to cry. I cry every episode. I wanted to tear up there, but I didn't, which I think is a sign of, I don't know, healing or growth. Maybe not, because I'm about to break down any second here. But yeah, that was only the first one that I read, and wowza, how long did I talk about that one? 10 minutes. So, I have, Mabelita said nope. Monica said not really. Kathy said nope. They don't think people change. Steez and Graham said yes, they do. One for all said absolutely people change. Moonchild Mod said no, people do not change. R. Perez said yes, they do. Kyle says some are gradual, some snap and have some immediate change, and others are too stubborn or broken. So I don't know if he means others are like too stubborn. This is where it gets confusing. Is I wish I could have a conversation with you guys, because I didn't mean like, do you think people change like if you ask them to? Like, oh my gosh, you've got to do better. You've got to communicate more. I need you to be a bigger, better person. I need you to be more responsible. I really wasn't thinking of it in that way. I was thinking of it more like I just explained for 10 minutes. It's like, at your core, do people change? But this is another perspective where someone says maybe some people are too stubborn or broken to change, like if necessary or if asked to, you know. He says some people gradually change, which I think, like I was saying, I think maybe what I've been through it has changed me in the way of like, I don't trust people like I once did. I've said on here many times, I don't trust no one, and it's true to an extent, but at the same time, in my core, all I want is to trust people and give people the benefit of the doubt. This whole little old man giving me a flash drive, a stranger with a strange device that I know nothing about what's on it. The fact that interaction I talked about on last episode, I just took the thing and I plugged it right damn into my laptop. People were freaking out. Like, you should never do that. You should never accept that. You're gonna freaking be hacked and blah, 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 blah. And you're way too trusting. Oh my gosh, you're way more freaking open and vulnerable than I could be. But I just, like, I don't know, it was a gut instinct, first of all. Like I said, I felt like I could trust this man, but also, say he was a hacker or he was trying to freaking kidnap me or something, that was just a sweet reaction, and the way that he spoke to me, which could have been manipulative. He could have been a narcissist. He could have just, him and his wife both been murdered. I mean, that's happened before, where a married duo are murderers and serial killers. That could have easily been the case. Although he was they're in their 80s, guys, come on. I would have still been like, oh my gosh, that was the sweetest thing, and I really needed this interaction. Let me trust them. Deep down in my core, I'm still very trusting, even though I say I don't. And I do think I've changed a little bit. Like this person said, they're gradual. But I'm still like who I am. That didn't change me into an evil person. I have really struggled with, it's happening. I told you it was going to happen. I've really struggled with not becoming a bitter person from all of this. I don't want to live with bitterness. I've seen family members go through similar situations, and it's just all they can talk about in their adult life. New marriages, new relationships, new hometowns, different environments, and they still talk about the shit that somebody else has done to them or put them through and the trauma that they've experienced. And some of them are not bitter about it, and some of them you could tell. Maybe they're being gentle in their explanation of, you know, why this is still a thing that they think about and talk about 24/7, but you can sense that resentment, and I don't want to live with that, and I've really been struggling with it because I think that there is a smidge of resentment and bitterness in my heart, but I think it's because I'm kicking myself for being so foolish, you know? I'm gonna take a break so I can like blow my nose.
We're gonna laugh. I might cry and I'm gonna wanna tell you why, because hey, well that's just life.
Oof. So hopefully you guys are understanding that this whole podcast is revolves around mental health and, you know, bettering yourself, talking about things, getting deep, getting ill for real. So I do want to keep trying to keep this on a uplifting, positive note, and I just want to learn and grow from things. But sometimes it's going to be dark or heavy, and maybe a little bit depressing. But as I said in a couple episodes previously, I just don't want to be depressing or like bring you down or discourage you, if that makes sense. So, not to get all heavy and hot and bothered, but these are the things I like talking about and that I think need to be talked about. They're good for the soul, y'all. So to keep going, Chris, hopefully you guys are okay with if you're listening to this. I'm just using people's like general names that basically people won't know who you are unless I say your full name or something. So if you want to be anonymous ever and you leave responses on Instagram stories, just tell me that you don't want your name said or whatever. But Chris says they evolve from what they are, good or bad. Change can happen, but it takes time. Interesting. So I think he was kind of thinking it more so from the place where I was coming from. They evolve from what they are. So that's what I feel. Like I feel like I'm a good person and I've done bad things. I've done stupid things. I've had, you know, I've made mistakes in the past, but I don't think they've been to the extent where it would make me a bad person. And I don't really know what defines a person as bad, but like I tell white lies or over exaggerate situations sometimes. Actually, no. I've always said this. I over dramatize situation. I don't over exaggerate. Normally, like the episode where I was splashed in the car. It sounded very dramatic and over exaggerated, but I really wasn't exaggerating. The entire car was sopping wet, which sounds very dramatic, but I'm not exaggerating. Does that make sense? The situation is what it is, but I like to put a little dramatic flair to my explanations and stories and things like that. Does that make sense? So I feel like like I said, I over dramatize things, but I'm not necessarily lying. I'm not a cheater. I'm not I don't know, a thief. I'm not a murderer. I'm not like a freaking sexual predator. These things, I think, to me, dope people as bad, even though I'm sure a lot of that stems from either stuff that has happened to them in their childhood or things that they saw or witnessed or experienced or trauma or blunt trauma to the head, which a lot of, like serial killers, a lot of them have situations where they've been like hit really bad on the head and it just like messed with their brain or whatever. Like, I don't really think it's their fault. I don't think there's very many people out there who like choose to be bad people, but they are making those choices and decisions to do bad things. Does that make sense? So like a thief, I don't know, maybe grew up with their parents were poor and they had to steal something from the grocery store to get by for the week, and then they grew up just thinking that it was okay, and then they choose to continue that behavior, for example, and doing bad things and I don't really think it's their fault, but like you could change that behavior. You could evolve from who you could evolve into what you want to be. I don't know. Am I contradicting myself? This is why I get confused. So, but yes, I agree, Chris, that they evolve from what they are, good or bad, and change can happen, but it takes time. So that's where I feel like that's where I was going, was if you maybe are a not so good person at heart, you're bad to the bone, a deep, dark, ugly core, I think you could evolve and change and do better, make better choices, reflect, get therapy, or start a podcast so that it's therapy for you, getting shit out there, venting. Don't bottle that shit up. That's why we do worse than best on this podcast, because it really makes a difference, guys. Get a friend or a stranger, someone to talk to. And it's going to take a long time, but yeah, with the situation that I've been put in, I just don't believe that they're changing. I'm going to be a better person for someone else and for a different family. And now all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, in 1 year of absolutely destroying someone and ruining so many lives, oh, you've just suddenly changed and now you're a good person. No, I don't freaking believe it. I don't believe that. So I don't know. E says, not the ones with personality disorders. Yeah, that's another. Yeah, I feel like what personality disorders are we talking? Like bipolar? Oh my gosh! A gopher! Is it a gopher or a groundhog? I can't tell. He kind of looks like a beaver, actually. Or is it an otter? I can't tell what that is. I saw this little gopher on the side of the road the other day, and he's here again. He lives in the ground. He goes underneath the road. Obviously, there must be a little tunnel that he dug somewhere, and then he ends up on the other side of the road, on the other side of this fence over there. But he is so cute. I took a video of him and a picture because it just reminded me of Alan. Have you seen that YouTube video? Oh my gosh, if people don't know what I'm talking about, I sound like an idiot. But you can look up, I think it's is it a groundhog? He is so cute. Popped his little head up. Steve, please tell me you know what I'm talking about. But okay, so like bipolar disorder, yeah, is that something that you have from childhood? Or is that something that develops over time? Is it something that you get through trauma or PTSD? I don't know. I don't really know how all of the personality disorders work. Narcissism? Oh my gosh, this is a big one. Do narcissists change? Because for my situation, this is the type of person I think this person is. And I don't know if you can change that. Like if you grew up with narcissistic parents, which I think maybe they did, very much so, then that was what was modeled for you. And what you just like subconsciously and like maybe without knowing, you just are. And it just gets worse. And I guess by some miracle on God's green earth, a narcissist could change their behavior. I don't know if they really change at their core of who they are, but they can just like try real hard, and it's going to be really difficult to just make better choices. But I follow a lot of narcissistic abuse pages on Instagrams, and none of them have said that narcissists truly change. They always revert back to their behavior. So if you're with a narcissist and you think they're going to change, honey, boo-boo, I don't think they do. There's a few of those in this world that I know and that I love dearly, and I'm still going to love no matter what, and I want them in my life, and I choose to accept that as long as they know and they accept that that is an issue of theirs and are willing to work on it and acknowledge it and get help and be nice and be a good person. Not being fake to other people that you don't know and strangers, and I am a good person, to like new people that you fucking meet. No, I'm talking about people who have been in your life and who actually care about you and have been here the whole time, supporting and loving you, lifting you up. Dear God. Like, I think they could change in a way, you know? So is that what we're talking about? I don't know. I don't know if people truly do. Like, how? How does a cheater just stop cheating? I guess it's possible, but I don't know very many of them that do. How does, how does, is it a personality disorder, like a sexual predator? That's got to be some type of personality disorder, right? People who are just like serial molesters. I guess I should say trigger warning when I'm talking about these things, but they're real life things. Um, does that change? I don't think so. Because there's people out there who have like brain disorders that they're like attracted to like children or babies, or some people are just like, I don't know, then bestiality and things like that. Like, that's just, there's something not right. And does medication help that kind of shit? I don't know. So I do think that I have some narcissistic traits. I think everybody does, though. And it's definitely something that I am now these days like hyper aware of. I think I overthink every little interaction that I have with people, and I feel like I come off the wrong way because if people tell me a story, I want to immediately relate and be like, "Oh my God, me too! Like I know what you're thinking of because this and this and this and this happened to me." And I feel like it comes off as like, "Okay, we're not talking about you, Jenny. We're talking about what I'm telling you." And I think that I consider that a narcissistic trait. I think, but then at the same time, I'm literally just trying to relate with you, and I'm so sorry. I have to bite my tongue, and it's so hard for me to freaking bite my tongue. But like, I want you to like, I just want to I want to relate to you. You know, anyways, it's just things like that. I'm very hyper aware of, and so if I have narcissistic traits like that, and there's people in my life that do, and like I said, I think everybody does to some extent, and you're aware and you try to work on it, like that's one thing, but to be a straight up narc and an abuser, immediately no. Tiny Hero says it all depends on the person and whether or not they are liars. Oh my God, I was just gonna say liars. I don't know if liars change. Liars don't change. Yeah, I don't. Like, I think that's also something that stems from childhood. Like, why does this person feel like they have to constantly lie, gain your acceptance, gain your approval? Maybe they don't want to make you mad. Maybe they're worried of losing you. You know, like there's so many reasons that people lie. But I think it stems from somewhere, and I don't really think that changes into adulthood, but you could become aware of it and work on it. Yeah, I just feel like it's just going to be the same outcome. But I know that there's like bad people out there that literally all they do is lie, and it's with malicious intent. So, dude. Lex says, yes, if they really want something in life and actually achieve things in life, they most definitely will change. Yeah. Just thinking. Just give you guys a moment to think. I'm just listening to the rain and processing that one. If they really want something, if they really want someone, a relationship, a family, if they don't want to go to prison for the rest of their life, if they really want something in life and they want to achieve things, they most definitely will change. And that's where I think, yeah, it plays into, you just got to be aware of it. I don't really think that person at your core who's done bad things is no longer there. Sarah says, yes. I gotta talk to you about your past that you say I'll be shocked about, because I'm curious. Yes, people change. So how were you... Do they change for the better or they change for worse? Christian says every few years people naturally change. Yeah, and that's where I don't know if you meant by that like what I was saying, like your taste buds and your body and your maybe the level of like introversion and extroversion that we contain. Like, is that what you mean by they change? Because I've definitely gradually changed into a more introverted person. I feel like I was always a very extroverted introvert, and I very much so am, especially if you've been watching me come back out of my shell again on TikTok. I'm very extroverted and outgoing and goofy online, and I'm so comfortable. Oh my god, I would give anything for a reality TV show, for a Netflix show, anything. I am so comfortable on camera. But I was also very much like that, like everywhere I went in person, and now I've gradually turned into an introverted introvert. Unless I'm just having a really good day, you know? And, or I see someone, you know, who's looking down and sad and I want to lift them up, then I'll kind of come out of my shell again a little bit. But, yeah, I don't know what you meant by that. Do they naturally change into a worse person that they were? Could they naturally change into a worse person that they were, or naturally change into a better person than they were if they were a piece of shit, you know? Lottie says it's hard for so many, but it is possible only if one wants to and they do the work. Exactly what I've been saying. Yeah, I agree. The same as what Lex said. Like, if they really want something, I think they could. But do you think you're talking about their behaviors? Because I feel like I agree with that statement. Oh! Did you hear that? Somebody just drove through the puddle again. And it was all over the window. If my window was open right now, I'd be screwed. This phone would, I'd just throw it in the river. Oh my gosh. This puddle. It's freaking, there must be a huge hole. Yeah, it's really deep. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, so I agree with your statement, but I feel like I agree in the sense of I think, and if they really truly want something, they want to achieve something, that they can change their behaviors. But I don't know if that actually changes them as a person to the core. Like, do they still have these desires and they want to go bad to their bad ways, their lying ways, their cheating ways? Do they want and crave this person and lifestyle that they once had, that it's possible they can snap back to that they can go back to the person and those behaviors in an instant? Because in my situation, there was a snap, just at least for me. They said, oh, it was years and years of things stewing and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe you. It was a snap. All of a sudden, they just did not care. They just were evil and did so much damage and so much harm and intentionally said things, the worst, most disgusting, humiliating, embarrassing, evil things I've ever heard in my life, just out of nowhere, when they were literally the salt of the earth. Like, all of the salt specks put together made this person, and now they turn black pepper. They're pepper now. Pepper of hell. No longer salt of the earth, pepper of hell. So if they change their behaviors, and if that's who they were at their core, and I just didn't know because it didn't come out till years later, but if they currently change their behaviors and become a better person, later on down the road, which they've expressed to me, they're actually really worried about, what if this is me? What if this is really who I am? What if I go back and I'm just this evil-hearted person deep down and I can't escape it? The fact that they're saying that scares me and makes me think that at any given moment, a person who has changed for the better can just go straight freaking back to where they were. And that's terrifying. Because if you're not good and genuine to the core, like, I don't trust you. I don't believe you, you know? Yesenia says, I think so. I think people can change when they want to change, not when others ask them to. Yeah. Again, going back to if they want to do the work. And I think maybe if people are asked by someone else to change behavior, if they really love and care about that person and want them, that they could change for the better. But that brings me right back to say, because for a brief, very, very, very brief second, that was the situation for me. I never really believed it. And what do you know? Here I am in the pits of hell with trauma and complex PTSD because they didn't change and they snapped right back into it. So, yeah. I don't know. It makes me sad. It makes me really, really sad for them. The rest of them is just yes and no. I'm going to refresh my Instagram just to see if anybody else. Ooh, sorry if you heard that. That was really loud in my ear. I haven't gotten any more responses in the last 3 hours that I've been talking, so thank you for leaving your input. Those were actually really good responses. A lot of times either people don't respond or they're just yes or no answers, and these yes or no answers were fine because it's just your perspective of whether or not you think people change. But maybe this got you thinking, like, I'm really, really curious. Once I post this episode, hopefully y'all listen to it, especially the people who responded. And you can respond to my Instagram stories at that point. Once the episode is posted, I'm going to post another story with, like, update. If you listened to the episode, now what are your thoughts? Like, elaborate on what you said or what I said. And I know the little question box is, like, not long enough for you to fill out your answer there. So just send me a DM. It's fine. I'll read it. I love reading these things. I love having these conversations with you guys. But it was really, really nice to see other people's perceptions because it made me feel like I'm not crazy or alone, you know? And it just makes me sad if you've gone through something really bad and people have really hurt you because of their behavior, whether it was change or not, for good or bad. Like, I just wish that it wasn't so easy for people's actions to affect us as human beings and who we are at our core when we're just being genuine and full of love and honesty. And oh, here comes another car. Oh, he was nicer. So yeah, thanks for being here and for hanging out. Let's see, what's today? Today is, let's see. Come on, phone. Today is National what Day? Boop, 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 boop. And these I look up on nationaldaycalendar.com. Okay. Well, hurry it up. Saturday. Oh, I already looked this up. Because my last episode I looked up the next day. Oh my gosh. I'm so dumb. So how do I look up, change the date? If I'm putting this up next Saturday, let's see. The 29th. April 29th. Does this work? I love the sound of the rain, guys. Hopefully y'all have enjoyed this episode and it was nice to just hang out and be in the peaceful rain. Oh, that's a pretty car. Oh my god, what even is that? Oh, it's a BMW, but it's like a very, very, very baby blue silvery. It looks like the pink Mary Kay cars. You know how they're barely pink, that they almost look white? That's what that car looked like, but blue. It was so pretty. Every year on April 29, World Wish Day celebrates the anniversary of the foundation of Make-A-Wish. It's a day for Make-A-Wish chapters and affiliates to come together and they reflect on how many wishes they have made come true. Have you ever had a strong desire for something to happen? If so, you have had a wish. Most people have wished for something at some point in their life. Yeah, for people to fucking change. Some of the most popular things people wish for. Oh my gosh, if it says they include good health, money, basic necessities such as food and shelter, love. That has literally only been my only damn wish my whole life. I just wish upon a star, laddie. Lottie, you can't just wish on a star. Her prince shows up on the steps. The ability to change something about themselves. Oh my gosh! Guys, what are the odds? That is so funny. The ability to change something about themselves. Dang, boy. To become famous, world peace, freedom, and happiness. That is crazy. We were just talking about this. What are the odds? Some of these things are easily attainable. Others are not. Especially for people who may live in a poverty-stricken or war-torn country. The above wishes are things that adults usually wish for. But what about children? Most kids wish to have fun, to play, to be accepted, for friendship, to have a happy home, and to learn. I'm going to cry. Some kids, that was me. Some kids wish they didn't have to do chores. Others wish they could have a certain career or be someone important when they grow up. For many kids, these kinds of wishes do come true. There are many children, however, that will never get the one thing they wish for. Womp, 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 womp. The reason for this is they have an incurable or critical illness that prevents them from getting their wish. Guys, I was just saying this. This is a sad reality. Oh my gosh, this is so in-depth. Thankfully, there are organizations such as Make-A-Wish who desire to help make these children's wishes come true. How to observe #World Wish Day. On this day, Make-A-Wish chapters around the world celebrate the beginning of this organization. The organization shares stories of how a wish come true gave a child the strength they needed to fight their illness. To participate in this day, help a child's wish come true by making a donation to Make-A-Wish. You can also encourage a child who is battling an illness or do what you can to help their wish come true. Share this day on social media with #World Wish Day. This is so sweet and so wholesome that I'm reading this right now. I'm going to share a post on Instagram about this because all those good people out there that be listening and that I was just talking about, at your core, if you want to make a difference, this is a simple little way. How sweet and how perfect that this is the what day is it today that just popped up on this episode. It was meant to be. World Wish Day history. Make-A-Wish was formed in 1980. A 7-year-old boy named Christopher Grecius, I think, inspired the founding of the organization. He was battling leukemia and had a wish to be a police officer. In 2010, Make-A-Wish celebrated its 30th anniversary by creating a World Wish Day. Since its inception, Make-A-Wish has granted over 500,000 wishes in nearly 50 countries. Oh my Lanta. I won't go into depth about this one, but there's also International Dance Day. Yes, get it. National Shrimp Scampi. Hell yes, I love me some shrimps. Some scrimp. National Zipper Day. The heck is that? Commemorates April 29, 1913 when the patent for the modern zipper was issued. That is so funny. Yeah, you can look these up on National Day Calendar. How to observe National... Wait a minute. How to observe National Zipper Day. Wear something with a zipper. Try sewing a zipper into an article of clothing. It's harder than it looks. It is, actually. Explore... zipper art. What is zipper art? I do want to explore zipper art. Wear your favorite zippered outfit. Share photos using #National Zipper. Okay. National Peace Rose Day. Honors a well-known fruitful garden rose. Okay. Oh my god, there's so many days. There's so many days in the day. National Day Calendar Classroom Week. Wait, what? I think that's it. No, National Day Flavor. I don't understand. Okay, we're done. I'm done with this. I'm going to debate whether or not I'm putting the worst and best at the end of this episode, where it will maybe not be raining. Who knows? By the end of the week, maybe it will be raining again and I'll be sitting in my car. Or if I'm going to throw it in the beginning like I normally do. Because that was a really sweet way to end this episode. What else am I forgetting? I can't play Word Girl because nobody's here with me. Should I do it with my other personality, my alter ego? Spirit of Bad Luck Jenny, where are you when I need you? And that's it. I think... Is that it? Is that all I wanted to talk about? I think there was There were some other conversations that I asked you guys on Instagram stories a while back, and I can't even remember what they were. I have all the screenshots in my phone, but I've been talking for 30 minutes about this, whether or not we think people change, and I've really enjoyed it. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to try and look for those other responses. I think it was a more fun thing that I asked you. And I always get messages like, "Are you ever going to post those responses to blah, 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 blah?" And I never do. So sorry, I was just like in a really bad rut. But like I said, I'm coming up and I'm deciding right now whether or not I'm driving into to Indiana in this rain. And whether or not I'm stopping in Ohio because I'm going to go through a little bit of West Virginia and a little bit of Ohio to get back home. And I heard that there's some really good antique malls there and thrift shops and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, like, might as well when I'm on the road, right? But I don't have money to be getting more tattoos, and I can't get a West Virginia and Ohio tattoo right after I just got a million other tattoos on my body. And girl, I be poor. So my Venmo and my PayPal is in the link in my bio if you want to. I'm just kidding. All right. I love you guys. Ooh. Sorry, I dropped the microphone there. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Do not forget to love yourself. And don't talk bad about your friend, my friend like that. When you talk bad about yourself in the mirror, that is my friend. So don't do it. Okay, love you, bye. And then I said bye, puta. Testing, 1, 2.
Ew.
Why ew?
Why does it look like that?
Why does what look like what?
I'm used to you doing it on your phone.
I know,
Where's
I'm used
purple?
to doing it on my phone too, but we're using the laptop now. Hello, and surprise, I've got my grandma here. She's knitting a sweater.
A scarf. No, a purse.
I said a scarf or a purse.
A purse.
That is a big long string. It
Cause
doesn't look anything like a purse.
it's gonna be a tote bag purse.
Whatever you say, Grandma. Okay, well, there's proof right there. She just said that she's used to me doing it on my phone, and she likes when I record this podcast on my phone. So that's proof that I'm not lying to you when I talk about how much I like this app for recording a podcast. And did you guys notice? Did you notice the audio? Guys, I'm using a microphone that I've had for literally a year in my backpack, and I just have never used it. It's a big old cute microphone. It turns like rainbow colors and stuff. But the audio is going to be much better now. It's just that I have to hunk a chunk of lug this freaking laptop everywhere I go now when I record. So that'll be interesting. But now I have my phone free in my hands to like do whatever I want with it.
I'd rather record on your phone and then do everything else on the laptop.
Well, you can do that when it's your own podcast.
Okay. I have one with Mia.
So Mimis is here. Obviously, if you are not new to the podcast, she's been on many episodes with me. And we are going to end with what I like to end with when I have a guest, which is Word
We're gonna
Girl.
start with what we end with.
No, I'm going to start. Oh, here comes the Mama Jenguin.
Oh no, she's going to bed.
Oh, no. We always record this podcast when she's going to bed. Say hi, Mama Jenguin. Good night.
Not saying anything.
Good night. We just got good night besitos, and she's staring at this microphone like it's an alien.
Do we have to go downstairs?
We're not going to be on here long. She said, be quiet.
Yeah, that's you. You be just cackling.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so we're gonna do Word Girl. We're gonna end with that. But this episode, I've kept them a lot more chipper and upbeat lately. You haven't heard. You don't listen to my podcast, do you?
No,
Ew.
I don't like podcasts.
Ew for real so far. You don't like podcasts?
I like music.
Do you like your sister?
Yeah,
Rude.
sometimes.
Ew.
You make a mess.
There you go, cackling.
Mhm.
You make a mess. Where do I make a mess? I do not. I'm the neatest, tiniest person.
You already took over my table.
It's just because
Look at that corner.
it's
It's your goat and your earrings and everything.
My goat, my stuffed animal sloth. She keeps calling it a goat. It's like
I think we're gonna have to go downstairs.
no, I'm not gonna be loud. It's like I don't have my own house now. It's like okay, I live basically from my car, so like all my belongings are in my car, and since I'm like living from that, I keep it tidy for the most part, and that's my space. So it's like now that I'm in this space that I grew up in, which is my mom's house, it's I just my stuff's everywhere, and I make a mess, and she yells at me to pick up my stuff, and I say, "Don't tell me what to do." It's just like I feel like I'm living in my freaking mother's house when I visit here, like a
'Cause you
teenager
are?
again. Anyways, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
You didn't listen to any of the episodes,
Mm-mm.
like where my car got splashed with water. I haven't even told you.
Wow. There you go again. I was gonna come in here yelling.
Oh, I am giggling.
Mhm.
You're right. You're right after all. Is okay, what did you think I meant by that when I said my
Like somebody drove by you in a puddle and it splashed you like it does in the movies.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, that's literally what happened. But all of my windows were open and I was sitting on the other side.
I told you.
Oh no.
What? What? Yeah, Nani, be quiet now.
Oh my god. Ooh, you're true.
That's you.
I feel like a freaking teenager. I'm 30,000 years old. That is what happened. My car got splashed because somebody drove through a puddle and it splashed the side of my car. But I was sitting inside recording, and you can hear on the podcast.
During the podcast?
Yes, literally while I was recording, and I'm like, oh my god, that was so dramatic. The entire inside of the car was sopping wet with dirty, disgusting mud. It was ew, for real. I enjoy yapping and yapping to myself, but I like having guests too, and I miss playing Word Girl with you, so we're gonna do that. But downstairs.
I guess.
I guess. Okay,
Well, it
great answer.
depends.
Next. Do you think people like can change for the better? Like murderers and serial killers and stuff like that? Or do you think people are who they are, like at their core and in their heart from being a little kid? And if they're a good person from the beginning, do you think that they change into bad people? Or do they just make bad choices? Or if bad people grow up and they just have kind of like yucky, evil hearts, and they get older, do you think they can change for people or change because they want to? And if they do change, like, can they go back to their previous disgusting behaviors?
I don't know what you're asking me.
Do people change?
Yeah, I think they can. It depends on the person, if they're willing to.
You know my situation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
What do you mean?
Do people change?
If they're willing to, and if they see how they're wrong,
If they're willing to change and they see how they're wrong.
they're open-minded about it. But if they think, no, I am who I am, this and that, then they probably won't.
But what if they change and they,
Changed from a good person to a bad person?
both, either way, or a bad person to a good person? If they change, do you think that later on down the road they'll just revert back to what they were before?
If they want to.
If they want to,
It's up to them.
I guess. I don't know. I just had this whole conversation with myself recording this, and I'm just curious about other people's input. Do you think people change?
I changed. I used to be emo.
Okay, but see, that's what I thought people were talking about too. Like, I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about like your heart. Like, you grow up being a good person, and all of a sudden, like what someone did to me, flip of a switch, they became evil and mean and destructive and selfish, yada yada. And now the person is saying, oh, I'm going to change, I'm going to do better, I'm going to be better. Are they changing? Do you think people can change? Because that person changed around me, and then now they're saying they're going to change back and do even better than what they were doing before. Like,
I
which
think
is it?
it's possible, but it all depends. Well,
You gotta say it.
Wait, what?
And then that's it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's been a while. Okay, well, I don't think I went over my worst and best of the week. I'm not gonna really go into it very far because this episode is already I don't know how long. Do you want to share yours?
My worst and best?
Mhm.
I think the worst is about that one friend who's being really annoying. And then, cause me and me are best friends, and I tell her everything. And then she didn't like him either, and then he always tries to talk garbage about me to her, and she doesn't like that. And then, and then, and then he was like, I don't know why Mia's being like that. I don't have anything wrong with her. It's only you. And I was like, whatever. And I just left him unopened. Because I don't tell her what to do. She can do whatever she wants.
He has a problem with you?
Uh-huh.
Why? What did you
Because
do
I
to
didn't
him?
like him back.
Because you didn't like him back?
He liked me twice. And then the first time...
He liked you twice? What
Yes.
kind of a thing is that?
'Cause-
I liked you 2 times.
No, because in the beginning of the year, he liked me. I didn't like him back. But then he was like, no, it's okay. I'm still going to like him. I'm like, no. And then...
Just stop. And then he stopped.
No, then he still kept going. And then he was like, you ruined my life, this and that. I'm like, I was so mad.
Ruin your life? How old is he?
He's my age. And then he said he liked me again. And then he was like, I thought you liked me too. And then I was like, no. And then when he said that, he got all mad and this and that.
You just want to be friends with him or you don't like him at all?
He's a good friend, but then I don't know.
You don't think he's cute?
No.
Is he funny?
A little bit when he's not being mean.
When he's not being mean?
That's why I don't like him. 'cause
Red
he's
flag.
Mean. I know.
Why is he why is he mean? He's mean to you or to other people?
To me, he's always like when he
Was it like he does it like he's picking on you and that means a boy likes you and he freaking punches you in the face?
No. I don't know, I just don't like the way he is. 'Cause like
So how is he mean?
he's like, oh, I hope they go like crash in a ditch. I'm like, I don't know. I give him a side eye and then I don't know.
Somebody crashed in a ditch and he was laughing?
No, he was like,
I missed that. I kind of drifted off. my brain
no,
turned off.
because he gets jealous of the sophomores that are like dating or whatever. And then he's like, I hope they like crash into a ditch. And then I don't know.
Because he wants a girlfriend?
But then he's mean to everybody and he's like, I don't know. He's just annoying.
Well, hopefully he doesn't stalk you and know what your sister's podcast is and then hears this, because then he's really going to be mean to you.
Good, I'm
he's going to
glad.
throw you in the ditch. Okay, so that was the worst part of your week, and now 2 positives.
Riding to the game with Mia, because she was funny. And then when you came back,
Yay! I proposed you.
I was sleeping on the couch, and then I heard a knock, and I jumped up, and I looked out I looked out the window, and I saw a Jeep, but it didn't look like your Jeep, but I think it was because I was still half asleep, and then I went outside, and nobody was there, and I opened the door, and then it was you.
I'll share that video on my story or something on Instagram. But anyways, thank you. I'm glad one of your favorite parts was that I came home and get to see you and hang out. But you said one of your favorite parts was riding to the game with Mia because you've started playing what?
Tennis.
We just went to the park today and we were playing tennis and I was so bored because it's so slow. And so she said we had to do relays or rallies or whatever the heck you call it, French fries. So that you can go faster and play tennis, because I like fast-paced games. I like volleyball and I don't know, soccer.
Boring.
I really like playing tennis, but it's like when we have to play the actual game and then, okay, switch courts. I'm like, I don't want to switch on the other side of the court. Can I just stand here like a freaking sloth and hit the ball? Like I'm pretty good at tennis without having to try. I stood there and I wasn't ready. And she said that if I was on her team, her coach would yell at me and I would get in trouble and have to run laps because I literally stand there looking like I want to die. But then the ball comes my way and I hit it perfectly like a professional.
And then the amount of times I went out of the gates.
Because I'm so strong. Have you seen these guns?
And then the times that I hit the net.
Yeah, big old biceps. I can't control them.
And what about when I hit the net?
It was because I was so strong. So fast.
Hey.
Nothing but net. Anyway, so yeah, we had fun, and Juliana's playing tennis now, and she's doing triple triples and double doubles and single singles.
There are no triple triples.
Don't know anything about tennis, but she looks really cute in her tennis skirt, so, and her ponytail, and that's all that matters. So there's that. I just thought I would have a fun little surprise for you here at the end of the podcast because I'm home and now I have my people with me, and I'm going to take her with me to the antique mall at some point so that we can interview strangers in the antique mall and help them find Butterbells and rollerblade and play tennis, and maybe Mom will let you come help me fix the camper once I start working on it. That'll be a really fun project, and you can learn and you can be a carpenter when you grow up.
A carpenter. Mia asked me what a carpenter was once, and I thought it was the people that lay down the carpets. And then I told her, and then our friend looked at me. He was like, "No," and then he explained it. And it was funny.
You thought carpenter laid carpets?
Because carpenter.
Oh. All right, well, I won't take much of your time as you sit there and knit, little granny. She is upset that I steal more than half of her teeny tiny bed with my big fat butt. So, to end on a positive, happy, fun note, we'll play Word Girl. Ready? She's scratching her head like the freaking squirrel on the Sword in the Stone.
I like the squirrel. Oh yeah, I like.
Oh
the
wait, no,
squirrel.
Arthur scratches his head like the King Arthur, whatever. Okay. First of all, don't make it any. For those of you who are new here, this is a word association game. We count down from 3, and then we blurt a random word that we think of, and then we take those 2 words and try to find a common denominator, and then land on the same word at the very end. And usually we scream, and we have to try not to scream because Mom's sleeping.
Usually you scream.
Wow. Don't make me scream. Okay, ready? Nothing in this room. Just think of a random word. 3, 2, 1.
Kick.
Magic. Kick.
Yes, kick.
Kick and magic. Kick and magic. What the
I have
heck?
one, but I don't know what it's called.
What the heck are we going to do with magic and kick? I always wonder if people listening to this are like screaming, "You stupid idiots!" Duh!
Okay, I got one.
Kick and magic?
Easy peasy.
Okay, I got one, but I know it's not gonna be the same. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Sports.
Wizard. What does magic have to do with sports?
Because magic, first of all, who's Magic Johnson? Isn't he the sports player? But I was thinking of the Magic basketball team, which is a sport. Magic?
What?
Magic. First of all, who's Magic Johnson? Why do I know a Magic Johnson? But I don't remember what he does. I'm pretty sure he's a basketball player. I'm gonna sound really stupid if he's not a basketball player. I don't remember. But there's a Magic, the team. I don't remember where they're from either. I don't know nothing. And then kick. You kick a soccer ball like a sport. Anyways, you said wizard.
Yeah. Because, like, the wizards in the video game, they can fight and whatever and beat them up.
I was literally picturing the wizard from Sword in the Stone. What are the odds? I'm talking about Sword in the Stone again.
I like Sword in the
He's
Stone.
doesn't he kick stuff around because
He
he's got
kicks
such a
the
bad
bucket.
I love that you knew that. How did we land on Sword in the Stone? He does.
The
It's
bucket
so
when-
funny. Doesn't he like step inside of it by accident?
Because his beard gets stuck.
That movie is so damn funny, man. I want to watch Sword of the Stone now.
Let's watch it tomorrow.
If you haven't seen Sword of the Stone, the old Disney movie, you are literally missing out.
Mia doesn't like Disney movies.
What?
She said Beauty and the Beast was boring. You look like the squirrel. Dude, Sword of the Stone.
I do sound like the squirrel from Sword of the Stone. It came out. That was a natural. I was very scared. That was a scared guess. Tell Mia I'm ashamed of her. His beard gets stuck on his leg.
No, it gets stuck in.
Oh, I know, on something, on his stick, on his wand.
Yeah.
And then he steps into the bucket and then he gets mad. Is that why you landed on freaking wizard for the word magic?
No, I was thinking of like a video game wizard.
Magic. Okay, so what we got? Wizard and sports. Oh my gosh. I wish I could. Oh man.
What
Oh
i-
my gosh. I know what you're thinking. You're
I'm-
probably thinking the same as I am.
I don't know what it's called.
And I don't know what it's called either. Just we're gonna think we're both saying. Oh, I know what it's called. I know what it's called. You can just kind of say a description of it,
Okay.
and I'll say the word that it is.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Baton
Jousting.
people. Oh my god.
Baton people.
You know people that flip the batons like cheerleaders? Like that lady in Hairspray. She's flipping the thingy.
That's a good one. I was thinking jousting though, because in Sword in the Stone, they knock each other off the horses with the sticks. So I think it's literally just called baton twirling, isn't it?
I don't know.
Batoning.
Batoning.
Okay, so baton twirling
I
and
got one.
jousting. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Sticks.
Your face. You're knitting with 2 sticks too.
Mhm.
Sticks. That was funny. Did you know what I was talking about when I said jousting?
Mhm.
You didn't think of that from
Wait,
Sword
I
in the
thought
Stone?
jousting was when like
Oh no,
they
did I get it wrong?
run. They run and they gotta jump over the pole.
No, that's pole running.
No.
Pole jumping. Pole dancing.
Dancing?
No, what is that called? Shot put and javelin hammer throw. I'm just saying stuff they said in Matilda. No, I'm pretty sure jousting is when they ride the horses like they do in Sword of the Stone and they knock each other off. Anyways, we landed. That was only 3 tries, right? That's crazy. We started with magic and kick, and we both ended with sticks. Okay. Well, this was a good episode. Thank you for joining me, for loving me. Thank you for being my sister. Thank you for knitting me a purse. I'm so excited.
You?
And thank everybody for being here. Go follow Juliana at what do you have?
A purse? What?
Telling them to go follow you on your social medias, and
No
you said
social
you have a
medias.
purse. Are you
Guys,
okay?
I didn't know what you're talking about. You just said, what do you have?
A purse. Oh my god, I'm delirious. All right, anything you would like to say?
I need more yarn.
She needs more yarn, people. So click the link in my bio, and you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and any funds I receive after this podcast, I'll give it to my sister for yarn. Because that yarn at the antique mall be really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Literally 3 pieces of hair for $45. A horse hair with different shades of brown. All right. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Don't forget to love yourself. And then I said bye, puta.
So do do do